Hey everybody, good morning to you all. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week so far. We do have a shortened week, which is great. So we do not have school tomorrow, and I know that we all need it. We are all in desperate need of a break. We had a meeting earlier today, the social studies department, and we all kind of came to a consensus saying that we're a little burned out. And I know that you guys are too, but I know that everybody's working really, really hard. This is still such a brand new, excuse me, a brand new avenue for us all, and we're still just navigating it. So I just wanted to come on and talk with you guys just real briefly about what we've been talking about this week, which is World War I. All right, this is a topic that I personally love. I love getting into the major world wars with my class. It stinks that we have to do it virtually like this, but we got to make do, right? So World War I, all right? And I loved that question that was posed, that prediction question for you guys. And many of you were saying, looking at those images, you know, I think that a war is starting up here. Looking at these numbers, looking at this chart, looking at this political cartoon, it looks like there's about to be a war, and you're 100% right, okay? World War I was just that. This was a war that involved the entire world. Now, when it first started, it was not known as World War I, obviously. It was called the Great War. A lot of people also referred to it as the war to end all wars. Of course, they didn't know that there was going to be a World War II, so of course you're not going to call it number one. But it's known as the Great War, right? Again, the war to end all wars. And we've been talking about this already, but I wanted to go over these. And if you're sick and tired of seeing these four main causes, I'm sorry, but I just want to make sure that everybody understands these. And I know that you guys already do, most of you. But again, the four main causes of World War I. We're going to do an activity in a few days where you're going to basically pick which one of these causes was the largest cause or the start of the war. Now, of course, we have militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. I hope that you guys can see this and everything too. Again, all of these are really, really great causes, and you could make an argument for all of these causes as to how the war got started in the first place. You guys learned the other day that it was, in fact, an assassination, which was the spark that kicked off World War I. It was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand by Gabriel Princip, and really, once that world leader was assassinated, then we get other things like the alliances that kick in. And because Serbia was allied with Russia, Russia came to fight. And before you know it, it was all these countries who had previously allied agreements came into the mix, and boom, you have a world war. By the way, I feel like that one guy, you remember how I show you guys in videos, the guy who's in front of the boards and everything? This is what distance learning has come to. I am him. But again, imperialism, nationalism, that extreme pride for one's country. That great story by Mrs. Witt the other day where she was saying how people would feel proud, or also they'd be so proud that if you were to disrespect them or be prejudiced against them because of their cultures or customs or clothing or language, this is going to kick in. And this is definitely going to kick in for a lot of these countries as well. So militarism, alliances, imperialism, which we've went in great lengths about already, and then nationalism. All right, so I'm not going to speak much more on that. I'm pretty sure everybody understands that by now. I wanted to go over a few of these words. Okay, I know that we defined those words. I had you guys do that the other day. But I wanted to just talk about some of these words here, all right? The words are mobilization, conscription, propaganda, total war, and then, of course, we have basically the two sides. We have the Central Powers and the Allied Powers, all right? The first word, though, mobilization. And I have my little notes here also. I want to make sure I don't forget anything. Mobilization though, guys, if you were to think about mobilizing. If I mobilize, I'm getting ready, right? I'm mobilizing, I'm being active. In terms of mobilization here, what you're getting ready, these countries had to mobilize for war. And that is not an easy task. These countries had to mobilize and get ready to go fight a war. A war is not just like, hey, you want to go catch a movie? Like, yeah, sure, let's get up and go, right? A war is something where you had to literally pack up everything, and everything that's including food, water, shelter, weapons, ammunition, nurses. You had to pack up all of these things to get ready to go fight a war in another country, in a foreign country. This was a huge mission, right? It still is today too. If the US were to go to war and the US were to mobilize, that'd be a huge task. So mobilization simply just means getting the country ready for war. All right. Conscription. That's just a really big fancy way of saying a draft. When a country employs a draft, it is when they'll give you age limits usually, and it's when men and women, in this case it was men who were forced to go to the draft, and you have to go to fight for your country. There were some exceptions to this, but for the most part, if a country initiates a draft, a conscription, you have to, by law, as a citizen of that country, you have to go fight.